I speak in the name of one God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Then Jesus took a little child and put it among them, and he took the child in his arms. So a couple are on a road trip, and they come to a place which is spelled Reading. The wife says, "We're in Reading." And the husband says, "Excuse me, Reading? If it was Reading, it would be Reding. This is reading. This is what you do with a kid just before you put them to bed. No, this is not Reading, it's reading." And they have a fierce argument. So as they're driving along, they see a fast food joint nearby. And the wife says, "Well, let's pull in, get somebody to resolve this argument." So they pull into the fast food joint. They walk inside. They walk up to the till. There's a young teenager standing behind the till. And the wife says, "So I want you to pronounce the name of the place we're in very slowly and very clearly." The young man's a little bemused, but says, "Sure. It is Dairy Queen." And so there you have it, a misunderstanding. And in one sense, that's what this gospel is all about. It's a misunderstanding. The disciples have been hearing the word kingdom now for weeks, for months, for years. And they sort of had the idea that kings mean a court. And there will be advisors. And there'll be some people very important and other people less important. If you transfer into a republic, there'll be a vice president, there'll be a chief of staff, and there'll be a cabinet. And they were having an understandable argument about who was going to have power in the upcoming kingdom. It is a classic illustration of human insecurity. And when you think about it, human insecurity pervades all of human life. From middle school, which table shall I sit at? In the refectory, to the home, to the workplace. We worry constantly about our status, our popularity, and our power. Who are my friends? How close are those who call themselves friends really? How well am I doing? Why wasn't I invited to this or that? Why can't I get a better job? Why haven't I been promoted? Is my marriage happy? Will things ever get better? What are my choices? How do I save more? What if I fall sick? And perhaps the most excruciating question of all, is this it? It's interesting, Jesus addresses their insecurity head on. He doesn't bother to tell them that their picture of the kingdom is too literal, and that's the whole point of the start of that gospel, about the Son of Man being betrayed and killed. Instead, he focuses on their picture of themselves. Children in Greco-Roman culture have very little value. The fact that Jesus takes a child, puts his arm around that child, and then uses that child as a learning moment is itself quite remarkable. And of course, the point is clear. Value is not based on achievement. Everyone is infinitely precious by virtue of simply being human. And our concerns about status, popularity, power, acquisitions, they so often miss the big picture. To imagine that a Tesla Model S, or the iPhone 10, or that new outfit, or the overseas vacation, or the college we went to, and we want our children to go to, or our sporting prowess, or our access to people with power, to imagine that any of this matters Jesus says that's wrong. We're missing the point of the kingdom. The focus of the kingdom is on the eternal. The focus of the kingdom is on love. It is the capacity to help in hidden ways. It is to be known for our integrity. It is to be there for others. It is to be able to forgive when we're hurting. It is to be able to be a constructive presence. It is to be able to be good at key relationships in our lives, as a child, as a parent, as a sibling, as a colleague, as a grandparent, as an uncle, as an aunt, as a spouse, as a friend. It is who we are that matters, says Jesus, not what we've done, or are doing, or will do. I love the fact that Jesus puts his arm around the child. The child gets a hug from Jesus. It's a noticeable detail, one that's remembered by the disciples, and Mark therefore faithfully records it in the earliest of these four Gospels. And it's memorable because the norm would be to ignore the child. After all, there are lots of children around, and to put it bluntly, they're all grubby and very dirty. But it's an important moment. In the end, says Jesus, as we live with our insecurities and disappointments, just remember, we're all cosmically special. And why? Because each and every one of us is being hugged by God.